Before we start, just a quick reminder to hit that subscribe button. Only 2% are subscribed at 1,000 subscribers. I'll be posting a special video. My nephew drags his chair back and squints at my stomach. "You really keeping that thing?" He points straight at me and grins. The fork slips out of my hand and hits the plate. Nobody laughs, not yet. That was the moment the air left the room. I am Aaron, I am 32, and this is my first pregnancy. The baby turns inside me like it hurt him. Across the table, my sister folds her arms and watches him. My parents stare down at their plates like this is a normal Sunday. I wait for someone older than 19 to shut this down. "What did you just say?" My voice comes out too calm. I straighten in the chair and my back tightens. He leans back, kicks one foot out, smirk glued to his face. "You heard me, that thing." He gestures at my belly again. He is not joking, I feel it before I admit it. My sister clears her throat and looks at him. "Cut it out, Aaron is sensitive right now." Her smile twitches. There it is, sensitive, like I imagine the fork jumping. I look at her, not him, because she should know better. The baby shifts again and my chest starts to sting. Sensitive, I repeat it, and my own voice annoys me. I sound small and I hate sounding small. "Did you just call my baby a thing?" My hands shake. He laughs, short and sharp, eyes still on his plate. "Relax, just saying it might not make it anyway." The room goes dead quiet on that last word. My dad sets his glass down with a dull thud. My mom reaches for a napkin, then freezes halfway. I feel my throat close, like there is no air left. "Are you wishing that?" I ask, "or just predicting?" He finally looks up straight at me now. "If it happens, it happens, could be for the best." He shrugs like we are talking about bad weather tomorrow. "You are not exactly mom material." His lip curls a little. That line hits harder than the first one. I laugh, it sounds wrong, too high, too quick. "Wow, okay, you hope my baby dies because I am annoying." "No, because you are one of those women." He rolls his eyes. "What women?" My voice drops. I already know I will hate the answer. "The kind who ruin guys and then cry about it online." My sister pushes his shoulder, a light tap, no real force. "Enough, she is your aunt, stop being edgy." She keeps it light. Edgy, another word that makes it my problem somehow. My mom finally whispers, "Just apologize, Cody, this is too much." He stares at me instead, waiting for me to blink first. I look around the table and count who has my back. My dad stares at the tablecloth like it holds a solution. My mom twists her napkin into a tight rope. My sister watches me, not him, almost daring me to drop it. My hands slide under my stomach as if I can shield the baby. "Say it clearly," I tell him, my voice steadies. My heart pounds so loud I almost miss his answer. "Fine," he exhales like I asked for something boring. "I hope it does not make it happy now." There it is, naked, dropped between the plates and glasses. My dad jerks back like someone slapped him across the face. "What the hell is wrong with you, kid?" His chair scrapes hard. My mom mutters my name and reaches toward me. I pull my arm away and do not look at her. I stare only at the boy who just cursed my child. He does not look sorry, that is the part that freezes me. He looks proud, like he finally said the quiet thing out loud. He lifts his phone and unlocks it with his thumb. "See, this is why I do not talk to pregnant women," he snorts. That line will echo in my head for weeks. "You are leaving," I say before anyone can soften this. My voice sounds strange, like it belongs to someone braver. My sister snaps her head up, eyes wide, mouth already open. My mom whispers, "Aaron, he did not mean it." But I heard him and I believed him, and that changes everything. I push my chair back and stand, palm pressed to my stomach. The baby shifts again, a small flutter against my hand. I am aware of every eye on me and none of them help. "This is my line," I tell the table, not just him. I do not know it yet, but the band starts here. I unlock my phone before my code is even off. My fingers open the app on muscle memory, jaw tight, breathing shallow. His profile photo pops up in the search bar before I finish typing. I already know this is a bad idea, but I keep going. His username sits on the screen like it was waiting for me. There is a quote under it about weak men and strong bloodlines. My thumb hovers over the picture long enough for the screen to dim. I tell myself I am just checking, nothing more than I tap. The first thing I see is a joke about pregnant women. Not a joke really, more like a rant chopped into a meme. It calls them walking incubators and says most should get culled. I read that word twice and feel my heartbeat jump. I scroll down because apparently I enjoy hurting myself. There is a thread about miscarriages full of laughing reactions. He is in the replies telling some stranger that Osing twins was a blessing. He adds that new life is not always an upgrade, which feels familiar. The timestamp is from last week, not years ago like I hoped. So this is not a phase buried in his early teen brain. This is who he is right now while I grow a person. I taste metal and realize my teeth are pressed together. More posts load under my thumb faster than I can read. Screenshots of random women with captions about single moms ruining society. He writes long comments about men going their own way and staying pure. He calls anyone who dates a mother a genetic dead end. I do not pretend to understand every term he throws around. There are acronyms and weird slang under some screenshot of a podcast. I see enough to catch the pattern though, and that is worse. Every line loops back to how women destroy men and deserve it. A notification banner flashes from the family group chat. My sister is typing, the dots blink, then vanish again. Another banner from my mom asks if I got home safe. I swipe them away and keep scrolling through his hate. One post stops me cold because it mentions family. He complains about a relative who got pregnant without asking permission. He writes that some people should have their womb on lock by law. There's a laughing emoji at the end like a rotten cherry. I zoom in, hunting for any detail that might mean someone else. Different state, different cousin, different anything so I can breathe. But there is a little hint about holiday dinners and cheap cake. My stomach flips and I know exactly whose birthday he means. I start taking screenshots with quick frantic taps. Post after post stacks up in my gallery like evidence. My thumb slips once and I almost block him on instinct. I stop myself because I need to see everything first. For a second I almost send the screenshots straight to my sister. I type erase, type again, then delete the whole message. I can already hear her voice telling me it is just the internet. I do not want another lecture about how I overreact. I open my camera roll without thinking and the ultrasound picture appears. Tiny profile, blurry edges, proof that something is actually there. I flick between that image and his posts about throwing lives away. My chest tightens as if I am choosing sides in a war. Another notification drops down from the top of the screen. This time it is from him in the family chat, a simple emoji. It is the one that laughs until it cries, nothing else attached. I stare at it way too long and feel something inside harden. Back on his profile, a fresh comment pops up at the top. He answers a friend asking about college and girls and future plans. He writes that he will never have kids and they should not either. Then he adds that breeding is for idiots who do not know better. That line stings more than I want to admit. I put the phone down, then pick it up again right away. My fingertip hovers over the block button like a loaded switch. When I finally turn the screen off, the words keep scrolling in my head. I stab his name in my contacts and hit message. My thumb hovers over the keyboard while my pulse bangs. I type, delete, breathe, then finally send it anyway. We need to talk about what you said at dinner. The three dots appear right away like he was waiting. Then vanish, then appear again in a little ugly rhythm. Lol, what now pops up on the screen in blue. You still crying about jokes? My grip tightens around the phone until my knuckles ache. That was not a joke, I write with slow, careful taps. You told me you hope this pregnancy fails. You wish that on my child, not on a random statistic. This time the dots stay longer, long enough to raise hope. He sends a skull emoji first, which makes my stomach drop. Then relax, it is called reality, most pregnancies do anyway. You are acting like I control biology. I lean against the counter because my knees go weird. You went further than that, I answer, fingers trembling over glass. You said it might be for the best if this one does. I need to know if you actually meant that. The reply lands almost instantly like he had it ready. Some should not happen, he writes, then adds a shrug emoji. Bad genetics, bad parents, stupid decisions, messed up environment. Nature cleans up mistakes, it is not my fault you are offended. I read that 3 times without breathing, eyes burning. Are you calling my baby a mistake? I type, thumbs shaking hard. Another skull emoji, another short burst of dots pulsing. If the shoe fits, maybe do not wear it next time. My vision blurs and I swipe at my face with my sleeve. I am asking you directly, not playing word games here. Do you want this baby to die? I hear my own question in my head and feel sick. Dots again, like he enjoys dragging this out for fun. Want is a strong word, he finally sends, then a laughing emoji. I just would not be upset if it does not. Let's dig. World is full of people already, one less is not tragedy. I almost throw the phone into the sink right then. Instead, I open a new chat with my sister, lungs straining. Look at what your son just wrote to me, I send. Screenshot attached, heart hammering as it flies out. She takes a full minute before any answer shows up. Aaron, you are baiting him, stop giving him an audience. He says edgy stuff online when he feels cornered. You know he does not actually mean every word he posts. My thumbs move faster than my brain at that point. I did not bait him, I write, anger pushing through the fear. He doubled down after dinner, he knows I am pregnant. He is talking about my baby like it is trash. 3 dots from her, then nothing, then dots again. I picture her pacing with the phone while defending him. Finally, her message arrives like a slap straight to my chest. He is venting, you know how guys that age talk online. I stare at that one line until my eyes sting harder. Explain venting, I shoot back, nails digging into my palm. Because he just told me he would not care if my child dies. Is that venting to you or is that hate? She sends another screenshot instead of a real answer. It is my first message to him cropped at the top. Under it she wrote, you really freaked her out, apologize a little. He replied to her with a row of crying, laughing faces. My stomach drops as the next bubble loads right under it. She is dramatic as hell, he wrote, maybe stress will take care of it. He literally typed that to his mother about me, I realize slowly. I grip the edge of the counter so I do not slide down. Did you seriously forward our conversation to him? I text her. You just warned him and now he is mocking it with you. I can almost hear her sigh through the dry little reply. I am trying to keep the peace, you started this up again. My free hand moves to my abdomen without thinking. I rub slow circles like I can shield the tiny body inside. So you are more worried about harmony than my safety here. My unborn kid is the punchline in your peace plan. No answer from her this time, just the gray delivered mark. My screen shifts as a new notification slides from the top. Family group chat, new message, his username bright in the thread. Reminder that jokes are legal, he posted, even if breeders get offended. Nobody in the chat reacts, no emojis, no replies at all. The silence from the others feels louder than his line. I tap out a reply, then delete the whole thing before sending. There is no way I am arguing in front of everyone with him. Instead, I open a separate chat with my mother, hands unsteady. Have you been reading what he is posting about my pregnancy? Tiny dots appear, then her message slides in soft and careful. Sweetheart, you know how teenagers are online, do not work yourself up. I breathe out in one harsh burst when I read that. He wished this baby gone, I type, each word its own punch. He calls it a mistake and a cleanup job. Are you seriously telling me to calm down about that? She takes longer this time, which somehow scares me more. I am worried about your blood pressure, she sends like I am the issue. He is hiding behind a screen and trying to get a rise. Focus on staying relaxed for the baby, let me handle him. I ask the question I already know the answer to. What does handle mean? Are there any actual consequences here? He gets to say all this and still show up around us. Or are we pretending it never came out of his mouth? Her reply lands soft, polite, completely useless in that moment. We will talk to him, she writes, but cutting him off is extreme. That is still my grandchild and my grandson, I will not pick sides. That last sentence sits in my throat like a stone. Back in my chat with him, a new message waits. LOL, did you tattle on me to everyone, he wrote. Screenshots do not change stats, a bunch of pregnancies end anyway. Yours is not special just because you are loud about it. I stare at those 4 lines until the screen dims to black. When I tap it awake, I scroll through our whole thread again. Every line from him drips with the same casual contempt. Every line from them leans on me to keep things polite. Looking back now, that was the exact moment it clicked. Nobody in that house planned to stand between him and my kid. They would apologize for him, explain him, smooth the ground for him. If any protecting happened, it would have to come from me alone. I erase his name from the guest list with one swipe. The cursor blinks where it used to sit, like it is waiting. I type it again, stare, then backspace each letter slowly. If you have ever argued with yourself over one name, you know that feeling. My phone buzzes with a text from my sister before I decide. Send me the invite list when you are done, she writes. I want to make sure nobody is forgotten. I stare at that last word and think of one person on purpose. I open the Notes app again and read through each line. Friends, cousins, coworkers, my parents, my sister. Every name feels simple until my eyes land on his empty space. Leaving him off feels huge and also really, really obvious. I add him again just to see how it looks in the list. The letters spell out his name like nothing is wrong. My jaw clenches and I hear his voice in my head. That alone is enough for me to hit delete again. The baby kicks hard like a tiny knock from inside. I press my palm there and whisper, I hear you, hang on. It sounds ridiculous out loud, but it steadies me. If I invite him, I am signing my kid up for more of that. Instead of sending the list, I open my sister's chat. I am not including your son in anything baby related, I type. The words look harsher than they felt in my mind. I stare at the screen, then hit send before I chicken out. Her reply arrives fast like she had her phone ready. Tell me you are not serious, she writes, then another bubble. He is family, this is a big milestone, do not be cruel. I already know we are not speaking the same language anymore. I am completely serious, I answer, fingers shaking but focused. He said he would not care if my pregnancy failed. He keeps posting about breeders and mistakes and thinks it is funny. I will not give him a celebration to stand in and sneer at. There's a long pause where nothing comes through at all. I watch the typing indicator appear, vanish, then flash again. Finally, she sends one long line that hits like a shove. You are destroying our family over some dumb posts and a bad joke. That word again, the one they all cling to like bubble wrap. In a joke, nobody actually wants the punchline to happen, I write. He made it very clear he would not mind if this kid disappears. I do mind, and my priority is not making him comfortable. Typing dots again, then a screenshot lands in the chat. It is the invitation list I sent my mother earlier that day. At the bottom, my sister added his name herself in bright highlight. We already planned around him coming, she writes, you are being unfair. My scalp tingles when I realize what she just admitted. You went behind my back and changed my guest list, I send. You decided your child's attendance matters more than my boundaries. If I host it, I get to pick who walks through the door. She fires back 3 messages in a row with no pause. You are not the only one involved here. Mom wants everyone there, Dad wants everyone there. You do not get to exile my kid like he is a monster. The word exile actually makes me laugh once, sharp and humorless. He is not a monster, I answer, he is dangerous to my sanity. He talks about my pregnancy like it is a disease that should clear. I am not standing in front of a cake while he cheers for failure. I can tell she is pacing from the delay before her next message. If you bar him, we will not show up either, she finally writes. He will not sit home alone while everyone celebrates you. You are forcing me to choose, and I hate you for that. There it is, the knife I knew was coming eventually. Then stay home, I reply, breathing a little too fast. I am not inviting someone who wishes death on my unborn child. I am allowed to draw a line where my kid is concerned. A new notification drops from the top of my screen. Family group chat again, new messages stacking while we argue privately. I tap it open and my stomach jolts when I see the preview. My sister has posted our entire argument into the group. The messages sit there, cropped and stacked out of order. She adds her own caption at the bottom for everyone. Aaron wants to ban my son from his cousin's life forever, she writes. She thinks he is some kind of threat, tell her she is insane. Little reactions pop up under her post from relatives. A thumbs up, a sad face, a confused face, no context at all. Nobody asks what he actually wrote to me in the first place. Nobody asks how I am doing while my pregnancy gets turned into drama. I could drop the screenshots right there and blow it up. My thumb hovers over the gallery icon while my heart pounds. I picture my nephew reading every reply and enjoying the chaos. That image alone makes me pull back from the group chat. Instead, I get a private message from him a minute later. Guess I struck a nerve, Aunt, the text reads. Did not know you would cancel people over free speech. There's a laughing emoji and a baby bottle next to it. My hands shake so hard I have to set the phone down. The baby shifts again and my whole body goes tight. Even now, I can admit part of me wanted to drive over there. Not to scream, but to look my sister in the face and ask why. I do not drive anywhere though, I open his profile instead. At the top I see a fresh post with way too many comments. Is a screenshot of our messages, my name blacked out clumsily. The caption reads, "My aunt is mad I do not worship her spawn." The replies are full of strangers cheering him on like a hero. They call me an incubator, an overgrown child, a genetic mistake. Someone writes that they hope it fails because the world needs fewer of me. I scroll through line after line until my vision goes blurry. Here is the part where I wish I had stayed calm. Where I wish I had ignored it, stepped back, saved my energy. Instead, I feel something hard lock into place inside my chest. If he shows up near my child, it will be because I allowed it. I go back to the guest list and check every name again. His is nowhere, and this time I refuse to type it even once. I send the updated list to my mom with a short note. He is not invited, I write, and that is my final call. She replies with one line that stings even now as I type this. You will regret pushing him away, her message says. Family is everything. Back then I almost believed her, almost reopened the door to avoid regret. Now I know what I actually would have regretted if I caved. I drop the stack of printed screenshots right in the middle of the table. They slide across the surface and bump his plate. Forks pause halfway to mouths, drinks stop midair, chairs go still. Before anyone asks how I am doing, I say, we are starting with this. My mom's eyes flick to the papers, then to my face. Aaron, can we please eat first? She whispers through a tight smile. My sister watches me with her jaw clenched and her arms folded. Across from me, my nephew unlocks his phone and smirks without looking up. He drags his thumb across the screen and laughs under his breath. Wow, you brought homework, he mutters, eyes still on his feed. My dad glances at him, then at me, trapped between two storms. The baby twists low in my abdomen, and that decides it for me. I pick up the first sheet and read the headline at the top. Here we go, I say, my voice louder than I planned. Post from your profile 3 weeks ago, public comments open. He finally looks up when he hears the date. I read the words slowly so nobody can claim confusion later. Some pregnancies are like glitches in the code, better when they crash early. A murmur goes around the table, chairs creak, someone exhales sharply. I lay the paper flat so everyone can see his username at the bottom. That is dark humor, he says, shrugging as he leans back. People talk like that online all the time, it is just venting. I tap the page with one finger until he looks at me again. You wrote this after the night you told me you hoped mine failed. My sister pushes her chair back an inch, face flushed, breathing quick. He did not write your name there, she snaps, pointing at the paper. This is not about you, you always drag everything back to yourself. I flip to the next page without answering her at all. Private message, I announce, because apparently I am the only adult. From you to me, day after that dinner. I hold the sheet up so the text faces the whole table. I just would not be upset if it does not stick. My dad shifts his weight and squints at the words. Did you actually write that to your aunt? He asks, voice low and rough. My nephew laughs once and reaches for his drink like nothing matters. It is still a fact, he says, it is not like I prayed over it. Something in my dad's expression closes down at that answer. He looks from the page to my stomach, then back to my nephew. That is your blood you are talking about, he says, hand flat on the table. You are talking about a baby like it is a busted tire. My mom reaches for my arm as if she can calm the whole scene. Everyone here is stressed, she murmurs, eyes on the papers. Maybe we should not read every little thing out loud tonight. I pull my arm back and slide a new sheet toward her. This one is not little, I tell her, throat tight but steady. It is the post where he called fathers who love pregnant partners weak. He wrote that real men walk away when a woman traps them with a kid. I watch my dad's face when he reads that line about real men. His hand curls slowly into a fist against the table edge. That how you see your grandfather, he asks, staring him down. That how you see me, a man who stayed for his children. The silence from my nephew answers before his mouth does. He rolls his eyes and leans back like this is all boring noise. You are taking memes like scripture, he mutters, flicking his napkin. Online talk is not court testimony, it is just guys blowing off steam. It is not my fault she went snooping where she did not belong. Snooping, I repeat because the word hits me sideways and hard. You posted half of this to strangers, you wanted an audience. You called me an incubator to random men who do not know my name. You turned my pregnancy into content and now. You are offended, I read it. My sister slams her palm down near her plate, silverware rattling. Enough, both of you, she says, breathing fast and shallow. This was supposed to be a peaceful meal before the baby arrives. You dragged the whole internet to the table, Aaron, why? I hold up the last page, the one that made my hands shake. The forum thread where he joked that stress might take care of it. Where he wrote that he hoped his drama queen aunt gets a reality check. I watch color drain from my mom's face as she reaches for that line. That is not what it looks like, my nephew blurts, sitting up straighter. It is a private space, people exaggerate things, nobody actually wants harm. You are twisting everything to make me look evil for clout. He points at my phone on the table like it is a weapon. You told total strangers you hoped my body failed, I answer. You knew exactly what you were doing when you typed every word. You wanted them to laugh at me and at this child. I press my hand over my stomach and keep my eyes on his face. My dad's chair scrapes back with a harsh sound that freezes everyone. He stands slowly, shoulders tight, jaw clenched so hard I see it. You will apologize to your aunt right now and mean it, he says. The room goes silent except for my nephew's quick, irritated breathing. No, my nephew spits, eyes bright with angry tears he will deny later. I am not bowing to her just because she got knocked up. People like her should not reproduce and everyone knows it. He glares straight at me and that is the moment something snaps. My dad's hand slams the table so hard the glasses jump. You get your things and you walk out of this house, he roars. Right now, before I forget you are still a kid. The words hang there heavy and final while my nephew stares at him. For the first time all night, my nephew looks unsure. His eyes flick to my sister, asking for backup, pleading without words. She hesitates, torn between her father standing and her son shaking. That single beat of hesitation tells me everything about where we all stand. He shoves his chair back hard and grabs his phone with a shaking hand. Fine, enjoy the parasite party without me, he snaps on his way out. The front door slams a few seconds later, echoing through my chest. Nobody moves and the stack of screenshots sits in the center like a verdict. I am done. That is the first thing I say after the door slams. Everyone flinches like I dropped a plate instead of a sentence. He is not allowed near me or this child again. My mom grips the back of her chair, knuckles pale and tight. Sweetheart, please breathe, you are shaking. She reaches for me, then pauses when she sees my face. I know if she touches me now I will lose it. My sister looks at the empty doorway like he might reappear. You cannot actually mean that, she says, voice rough and thin. He made awful comments, yes, but this is permanent. You are talking about cutting off your nephew for life. For my baby's life, yes. I keep my hand on my stomach and do not sit. I will not welcome someone who wishes failure on my pregnancy. I am not raising a kid around that kind of sickness. My dad stays standing, eyes on the scattered papers. He crossed a line tonight, he says finally, voice low. That is not just teenage attitude, that is something darker. He meets my eyes and nods once, slow and certain. My sister turns on him like I knew she would. So that is it, we throw him away because Aaron is upset. That boy is hurting and you all gang up instead. You are choosing her dramatic feelings over your own grandson. He is not getting tossed out, my dad answers, shoulders tight. But your sister gets to control who enters her home. She is about to deliver, she deserves one safe space. These words tonight were not just mood swings, they were cruel. She laughs, sharp and bitter, wiping at one eye. You all baby her more than the actual baby. People vent online, people say rotten things, then they move on. No one else in this family gets forgiven as fast as her. I feel anger and guilt smashed together in my chest. You want to talk about forgiveness? I ask, staring right at her. I let the first joke slide at that dinner until he escalated. I warned you about his messages and you told me to relax. She opens her mouth, then shuts it, lips pressed very thin. You could have come to me in person, she mutters. Not humiliate him with printed screenshots at a holiday table. You made him a villain in front of everyone. He wrote the script for that role all by himself. I tap the nearest page with one finger, steady and slow. If he cared about humiliation, he would have thought before posting. Do not blame me for reading words he was proud to publish. My mom claps her hands softly, desperate to break the standoff. Enough for tonight, she whispers, eyes shiny. NG too bright. Aaron, please sit down, you need food and quiet. Your sister and I can discuss consequences with him later. There is nothing to discuss, I answer, feeling strangely calm. I am drawing boundaries, not holding a council meeting. He will not visit my house, he will not meet this child. I expect everyone here to respect that choice around me. My sister's chair scrapes backward as she stands. If you freeze him out, you freeze me out too. I am not splitting holidays between my son and my niece. You want separation, you get the whole package. Those words hit harder than I let show. I rub the side of my stomach, slow and firm, breathing through it. Then that is your decision, I say, throat thick but steady. But you do not get to guilt me into offering myself up. She grabs her coat, movements jerky, breathing too fast. Hope this kid is worth tearing everything apart, she throws over her shoulder. If something happens and you need family, do not call me. The front door opens and closes again, softer than his, colder somehow. Later that night, my phone lights up on the nightstand. I already know who it is before I open the screen. A long message from my mom fills the top half. Your sister is broken over this, we need a compromise. I stare at the message while the baby nudges from inside. He is banned from my home, I type, hands steady now. No visits, no gatherings, no events, nothing. No one is to show him photos or updates either. Dots pulse as she thinks, then stop, then start again. Finally a new line appears, gentle and sharp at once. That is harsh, you do not mean no photos ever. You will want your family to see your child grow. They can see him, I reply, just not through someone who hates him. They can visit, call, send gifts if they want, I am not blocking everyone. The rule is only about him and anyone who carries my information to him. I am protecting my son from being a subject of his jokes. Minutes tick by with no response from her at all. I almost toss the phone away, then it buzzes again. I love you both, she writes, I refuse to lose either. Please do not make me choose which house to stand in. I am not asking you to disown your grandson, I answer. I am asking you not to bring him into my space. If you want time with him, meet him elsewhere, I will not stop you. But you will not carry stories from my living room to his screen. Weeks pass faster than I thought they would after that night. There are no more family dinners, just occasional texts about appointments. My sister stays silent except for one short message about logistics. Hope the birth is uncomplicated, she sends, that is all I have. When labor hits, I ignore the buzzing phone completely. Nurses speak and move around me, and time melts into contractions. Somewhere in the blur, I hear a message tone from my bag. I decide whatever it is can wait until my son can breathe. Hours later, he is in my arms, warm and loud. My dad walks in first, eyes red, smile unsteady. He covers his mouth for a second like he has to steady himself. Then he touches the tiny foot and whispers, "You did it." My mom stands in the doorway with her purse clutched tight. She looks at the baby, then at me, then back again. May I hold him, she asks, voice barely above air. I nod because despite everything, I want her there. She rocks him slowly, watching his face like he might vanish. I wish your sister could see this, she murmurs, almost to herself. She asked for a picture, just one she promised not to share. The hope in her voice almost pulls me under again. No, I answer, and it hurts to say it out loud. I believe you, but I do not trust her judgment anymore. She funnels everything to him, she thinks it is harmless. I will not let my newborn be the next screenshot. My mom closes her eyes for a second, then nods. I thought you might say that, she whispers, rocking him gently. She will be furious, she already is, but I hear you. She kisses his forehead and hands him back like he is made of glass. Back home a week later, the house is quiet except for soft breathing. My son sleeps in a small bassinet beside the couch. My phone lights up with a notification from a mutual acquaintance. A post from my nephew appears at the top of the screen. He has written another rant about overprotective mothers ruining bloodlines. The comments are full of strangers calling them hysterical and selfish. I scan for any specific detail that could be about me. I find one line about dads who lost their backbone to baby fever. That is close enough to feel like a match. I lock the screen and place the phone face down. He's still out there, still performing, still adored by that crowd. And if I open the door again, he walks straight in. So I reach for my laptop instead and open a blank page. My son shifts beside me, lets out a small, sleepy noise. I watch his little chest move up and down, steady and fragile. Then I start typing the title you already read. I write about the dinner, the messages, the group chat. I write about the screenshots, the slammed doors, the quiet hospital room. Sometimes I make myself sound stronger than I felt in the moment. Sometimes I admit I was terrified and petty and tired beyond belief. When I get to the part about banning him, I pause. Am I the monster for keeping my kid away from him? I type. Am I overreacting, or am I finally putting my child first? The cursor blinks at the end of that line like a dare. I add one last sentence before I lose my nerve. If protecting my son means some relatives never meet him, I can live with that. I read the entire post once, then once more, fixing small things. Then I hit share and sit there listening to my baby breathe in the dark.